This is Cal.diy, the same scheduling platform that powers Cal.com, except this version is MIT licensed, has no enterprise license key, and is maintained as a community fork by Cal.com themselves. 43,100 GitHub stars, 13,400 forks, TypeScript at over 95% of the codebase. The latest tagged release is version 6.2, which dropped in March. Built on Next.js, TRPC, Prisma, and PostgreSQL, the same stack the commercial Cal.com runs in production. The unusual part of this story is that Cal.com maintains both the commercial hosted product and this open source fork themselves. Most companies in this category hide the split behind a paywall and pretend the limited community edition is the real thing. Cal.com publishes the honest version. Here is Cal.diy, here's what works, here's what we removed, because those features are how we fund Cal.com. The split is explicit, the license is permissive, and the code base is the same. Cal.diy is a self-hosted scheduling platform that does basically what Calendly does, except you run it yourself and own all the data. The core workflow is the same one anyone who has ever used Calendly will recognize. You set up event types, a 30-minute intro call, a 15-minute design review, a 2-hour workshop. You configure your calendar availability, when you're free, when you're not, which calendars to check. You share a booking link. People pick a time, the event lands on your calendar, video conferencing details get attached, and reminders go out. Cal.diy ships full calendar integration with Google, Outlook, Apple, Cal.diy, and Exchange. Video conferencing through Zoom, Google Meet, Microsoft Teams, Jitsi, and Daily.co. Paid event support through Stripe and PayPal. A REST API for programmatic booking. Embed widgets for putting the booking flow on your own site. Webhooks for triggering downstream workflows when bookings happen. All of that works in the open source community edition. The metrics here put Cal.diy in the upper tier of self-hosted SaaS alternatives. 43,100 GitHub stars, which is in the same range as established infrastructure projects rather than what you'd expect from a community fork. 13,400 forks, meaning people are not just installing it, they are modifying it for their own deployments. TypeScript at 96% of the code base, which makes the project approachable to anyone who already writes modern web software. The latest tagged release is version 6.2, which shipped in March. MIT licensed, no premium tier, no comments clause, no fair source restrictions, just standard MIT terms. Deployment options are unusually broad. Docker, Docker Compose, Railway, North Flank, Vercel, Render, Elestio, plus manual setup on any Node.js, plus PostgreSQL stack. The funding model for the open source edition is implicit. Cal.com pays a team to maintain the community fork because the project's existence helps funnel users toward the commercial Cal.com when they need the enterprise features. The feature set is what an individual or a small team running their own scheduling needs to operate independently of Calendly. Event scheduling for one-on-one, group, and seated events with recurring slots for office hours or office-wide booking patterns. Full calendar integration that reads and writes against Google, Outlook, Apple, Cal.diy, and Exchange. Meaning Cal.diy honors your existing availability rather than asking you to maintain a separate calendar. Video conferencing integrations that auto-attach meeting links from Zoom, Google Meet, Microsoft Teams, Jitsi, and Daily.co. Paid event support through Stripe and PayPal for anyone selling consulting time, paid coaching sessions, or office hours that aren't free. Webhooks that fire on booking creation, reschedule, and cancellation, useful for triggering downstream automation in Zapier, N8N, or a custom backend. A REST API documented well enough to build your own client. And embed widgets so you can put the booking flow on your own marketing site without redirecting to a Cal-branded page. It's worth being explicit about what Cal.diy does not have, because the gap between Cal.diy and Cal.com is where the project's honest split lies. Teams functionality is removed. Organizations, the multi-team grouping for larger companies, is removed. Insights, the analytics dashboard, is removed. Workflows, the automation builder for scheduling triggers, is removed. SAML, SSO, and the enterprise authentication layer are removed. Routing forms, which route bookings to the right team member based on form answers, are removed. The admin panel is stripped down. Video recording capabilities are absent. Everything in that list is a feature Cal.com paid customers get. For a person who needs personal scheduling and wants to own the booking flow, none of those features are required. For a team of more than a few people, or for a company that needs SAML, SSO, and routing forms, Cal.diy is genuinely not the right tool. Cal.com is. The project's documentation says this plainly, which is the part that makes the honest split actually work. Getting Cal.diy running on your own infrastructure is the standard Next.js plus PostgreSQL deployment pattern. Clone the repository, copy the example environment file, drop in your PostgreSQL connection string, a strong session secret, and OAuth credentials for whichever calendar and video providers you want to integrate with. Bring up the stack with one Docker Compose command. The application starts on its configured port, runs database migrations automatically on first start, and serves the booking flow immediately. From a fresh server to a working Cal.diy instance with an admin account is about 15 minutes the first time. The VR cell deployment path is faster if you don't want to manage your own server. Connect the GitHub repository, set the environment variables, and Vir cell handles the rest. The cost structure ends up being whatever your database hosting and OAuth integrations cost, plus your hosting platform's compute fees with no per user pricing on top. It's worth taking the project's own warning seriously because Cal.com publishes it prominently for a reason. Cal.diy is explicitly recommended for personal, non-production use. The project documentation says, and I quote, that self-hosting requires advanced knowledge of server administration, database management, and securing sensitive data. That's true. For an individual running their own scheduling on a personal VPS, Cal.diy is genuinely a great fit. For a business that depends on scheduling availability and would suffer real customer impact from an outage, the calculus is different. The Cal.com hosted product handles backups, security patching, uptime monitoring, and the database operations work that comes with running a stateful application that holds calendar and booking data. The Cal.diy operator handles all of that themselves. Neither path is wrong. The right one depends on whether scheduling is a personal workflow you want to own or a critical business function you want someone else to operate. The project documentation is clear about which it expects, which is more honest than most open source with commercial overlay projects manage. If you want to try Cal.diy, the fastest path is a Docker Compose stack from the repository. Clone, configure the environment file, bring it up. If you prefer a managed platform, the Vir cell deployment template is one click. Whichever path you take, plan on spending the first hour wiring up the calendar OAuth integrations and testing the booking flow end to end before sharing the link with anyone. If you find yourself wanting team features, SSO, routing forms, or any of the other functionality that Cal.com keeps in the commercial product, that's the signal to migrate to the hosted Cal.com. The data model is the same, the migration path is documented, and you'll save yourself the operational overhead. The repository is linked in the description. If this video saved you a research weekend on the state of open scheduling tools, star the repository on GitHub. Visibility matters for a community edition that genuinely competes on features. Subscribe to AwesomeFOSS for more open source tools that actually replace the proprietary defaults.